in the past. The latency is very high for Ethereum, especially when the network's congested. Costs also go up substantially on Ethereum when the network's congested. It just doesn't have enough throughput, and that's why you've seen a lot of layer 2s built out on top of Ethereum to be able to kind of band-aid those gaps, or have workarounds to be able to facilitate transactions between counterparties that have developed DeFi applications, either on Ethereum itself or on layer 2s. I think the EVM, which is the Ethereum virtual machine, will be used in a bunch of different applications, but Ethereum, the blockchain itself, really hasn't lived up to the hype over the long term that was set out by Vitalik and Joseph Lubin. It took them a long time to migrate from proof of work to proof of stake, and it really didn't do much for the throughput and cost on that network. It's a mainstay. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. But again, Bitcoin and Ethereum I kind of view as the Napster or the Alta Vista of crypto. Both of those are first movers. They have large market share. They disrupted industries. They have unique technologies that a portion of it will be used in the future. However, as better options come to market that are more secure, higher throughput, lower cost, I think that those will see the adoption. And we've already seen that transition once in the past with Ethereum. Ethereum originally had the majority of the NFTs issued on that blockchain. Bored Ape Yacht Club and many of the other things that happened in 2021 were on that network. And then we saw a large migration for meme coins and NFTs over to Solana in this last cycle, because Solana has much higher throughput and much lower cost than Ethereum. I think the same will be true as some of these other networks like the XRPL, Hedera, and XLM come into vogue during this next utility phase of the application or adoption of this asset class and these protocols. So I don't really view it as a threat. I think it's great in the fact that it disrupted an industry and created a whole new vertical for smart contracts. But I think that there are much better networks that can facilitate that at scale versus Ethereum over the long term. All right, Brad, Mr. Bryson, he says, hey Jake, outside of a supply shock, how would the mechanics work in the future for Ripple institutions with the escrow being locked up? They can't use it until it's released, right? Or